Previously on
Oh, God. Oh.
Oh, man.
Oh my God! Somebody get me a beer stat. All right, there you go. Welcome to Curious Times. It's Friday, December the 9th. Welcome to your weekend if you're a Monday to Friday person. Welcome to your Saturday if you're a South American person. You're a Southern Hemisphere person, Southern Hemisphere person. And otherwise, just welcome to whatever the hell day it is for you. Morning, noon, night. Welcome. Just quickly let you know we do have Selva here tonight. Tomorrow night probably is a night off or just a chillax music type of deal. Dr. Ida Green is here on Sunday. Monday, another open. Maybe those are the 2 days this month I can get some sleep, Melissa Bruce is here on Tuesday. We missed her last month due to a death in her family, and it'll be our last chance to talk with Melissa in this calendar year. So either be square, no doubt we'll probably talk a little bit about what the stars are telling her about the upcoming 2017. Kathleen Moore is here on Wednesday. Thursday is Jen Young, and a week from tonight it is again Selva Dutton. And so Selva's becoming one of our favorite fan favorites around here. She just I love the way she does her reading. She just wants you to say hello and do not ask a question. Do not say your whole life story. Do not say anything. And then she'll just hit you with a whole bunch of stuff that she's receiving for you, and then she will let you ask whatever question you called in to ask. But this is a way for her to get it said without there being, you got that from the person, or that's based on what they asked, or whatever, you know what I mean? She's just coming at it without anything at all. And she does an awesome job at that. She's a life translator, and so her job in life, and I think that she must have coined the term and beat me. She's like Amy. Amy's like the one and only heaventologist, and I haven't heard of a life translator before, Selva. So it's her job to help people understand their journey in this life path. She's been communicating with spirit ever since a very young age of 4, and was born in Uruguay, South America, and she now lives in Australia. And she does have 10 grandchildren. I can't imagine Christmas shopping for 10 grandchildren. Mediumship is something that Selva has great respect for. So she doesn't like order them up like cheeseburgers and fries. You know what I mean? If they're there with a message for somebody that she's giving a reading to, then she'll pass along whatever they have to say. She also uses tarot and other modalities, and enjoys as a hobby palmistry even. And she also likes to help share what her knowledge is with other people who are on this spiritual path of growth and learning, lifelong learning. And she likes to make it as affordable for people as she can in terms of running her workshops and things like that. You can connect with Selva on Facebook at facebook.com/Selva.Nix. And there's also a plethora of other links that you can get in touch with Selva at, which I will be posting into the chat room here for you in just one quick second. And then we'll get Selva on. Here you go. This will allow anybody listening in the archives later to find those links. And there's way too many of them for me to say on there. So with all of that said, hey, welcome back, Selva. How you doing? How's your weekend going so far?
Oh, it's been awesome. We're in the middle of moving this weekend, so it's a pretty hectic weekend, so I'm having a break while I'm having some time with you guys. So it's pretty good. I got out of work, so thank you.
You're welcome. Our pleasure.
Yeah.
What, is this a sudden move or a move you were planning all along, or what?
No, we're renovating our centre because we live at the centre, and my mother-in-law has moved in with, she's got Alzheimer's, and she needs extra care, and we need extra space. So we're moving out for 4 or 5 weeks while the renovations are being done, and then we'll move back in. But because we're without a bathroom, as you can imagine, you know, so we've rented another house for a few weeks, and that's what we're doing. So while I'm doing the show with you guys, the move continues, and if I'm lucky, they'll be finished by the time I finish.
Well then talk slowly, Selva. Speak slowly.
I will try. No promises. It's not me that talks. It makes it hard.
Yeah.
No, it's actually, we had a wonderful week. I got to see my mum, which I'm very happy. I don't get to see her often enough. So I spent 2 days with her. My eldest grandchild grew from primary school, so high school next year. So things are changing. It's all good. Life is great right now. Thank God for the end of 20.
Everybody says that every year. You know what I mean? Oh my God, I can't wait till next year. I can't wait till this year's over. I'm all like, every freaking year seems to be the same anyway, so you know what I mean? It's like, it's wishing time away in a way.
Oh, next year's a wonderful year. I mean, it's a number 1 year, you know, and numerology is the beginning, it's the start of things, you know. It had a 9th cycle, and that's why this year there's been so much upheaval and so much nature changes and stuff, you know. So it was a 9. It was a very confronting year. That's the only. And but 1 is so exciting to be looking for. You know, it's a new beginning. It's a rebirthing. It's like new starts and new endings and new connections, and really dealing with what you really want to deal with and let go of what you don't need anymore. You know, so it's great. I'm looking for it, and that's the only reason why I said thank God it's the end of 2016, because I'm excited about the new year. 2016 was a very learning year, a very
Uh-oh, we just lost her. Oh, I can get her mic back, though. Are you there?
Yep. Yeah, well, I'm here.
Okay, we
Sorry,
lost
just
your
lost
mic. We lost your camera.
Yeah, that's right. We can do without the camera. I can't see you either, so that's okay. I know what you look like. Yeah.
You don't need to. I really wish I didn't even have to come on the camera. I should have never started with the camera. I got everybody all used to the camera, and now if I don't use the camera, everybody's all should just start.
I like the camera.
I decided that I wanted to do the show in the naked today. You know what I mean? So I couldn't have the camera on, you know. And
well, I have that choice now. I can't go naked. You'll never know.
You can. Yes, you can. I wouldn't want to go naked right now because it's effing cold here. And,
oh no, it's hot here. It's a nice 35 degrees here.
Well, it's about minus that here. And with the wind chill, we're probably let's see, let's see if I could find out real quick. With the wind, okay, it's only minus 25 degrees. Oh no, it's minus.
That's not too bad.
Minus 31 with the wind chill.
Well, that's manageable.
What the hell are you talking about, Miss Australia? Manageable. You guys.
Yeah, well, when I went to Korea in the middle of winter, you know, they had a minus 42 one day, you know, and that was cold. That was cold, you know. But I loved it. I actually loved it. You know, it's just like, you know, I wouldn't be able to handle for weeks on end like you guys do.
Right.
But loved it. I loved it. I loved it.
It's like square tire time on the cars. You know what I mean? Like so.
I heard that. Yeah.
If you can get going, if you can get your car to start, then you get bumpy bump until the tires warm up and become round again.
I've got a friend at the moment they're spending 12 months in Canada right now, and he's just asking holiday, and he just got a job sweeping snow, he reckons, and he's so excited because it's something we don't do here where he comes from, you know, so he's loving it. And what an experience. It's just so much fun. So, yeah.
So I see these Australians coming over here and stealing our jobs. I can't even find an effing job, and here's this guy got a job sweeping snow.
Well, they did a job thing. He swapped jobs with another Canadian, and the Canadian that normally does that job, he's actually his farm for 12 months. So they did a swap. So he's doing his job, and this guy's doing his job here in Australia in the farm.
Right.
So he's learning how to run a farm in Australia. See, it's job exchange, yeah.
Yeah, right on. Cool.
I think it's awesome. I think it's a great opportunity. So if any psychic over there want to do a job exchange, let me know. I'll be there.
I'll be there. All right. So, what will we talk about for, about 20 minutes or so before we take a break and then get a couple calls?
Sure. You know, I had a lot of questions lately. I don't know if it's happening over your end of the world as well, but I've had a lot of questions lately about how many between the age of 4 and 6 are becoming very aware and very alert. Here in Australia, I've had almost like an invasion of parents coming to me that their kids are seeing dead people. You know, what do we do? You know, do we send them to a psychiatrist? So I've been very busy doing a meditation and connecting with the child, but also helping the parents understand that, no, your child is not gone crazy. It is actually that he's got or she's got and is developing it and awakening. And right now you can either shut it down or you can help it grow with it. direction. But of course, parents, they don't know how to deal with it. If they've never been involved in the spiritual side of life, they really don't know how to deal with it, you know. And I've got a couple especially that are very religious people. So they really feel that, you know, the child's being possessed, you know, instead of acknowledging they're living beautiful messages and very peaceful messages. Like one particular child, as an example, he told me that he told his mummy that when she was 8 years old, how sad she was when her baby dog died a half an hour after she got it, and how her daddy went out. It was a Sunday, nothing was open, and he went out. He never come back until he found another dog. Aww. You know, and she said, "Wow, how do you know that?" You know, and he said, "Because I'm your father." You know, and then it was just amazing, little things like that. And she's finding it hard to handle, you know, because I said, "Are you playing with my head or not?" So just be aware. For some reason, a lot of children, they are awakening young now, because we are in the middle of a complete transition spiritually, and kids are becoming aware and they're becoming more sensitive. So when your child tells you something, please take the time to listen. Take the time to not to drown them with questions, but encourage them to share with you whatever it is that they see or they feel. You know, if you drown them with questions, they're only going to judge, and they're going to become scared of what they're doing. You know, so just be aware of that. Is that happening over there? Do you know?
I mean, here's my opinion on that. For what it's worth, I believe that all children are born awake, and that you know, over time, parents and society and everything else, helps that to go away, go dormant. It's either that they get, you know, the whole Bible thrown at them, and like you said, that's bad, evil stuff, or it's freaking people out, or it freaks even starts to freak the kid out once they start to get older, and they're all like, whoa, and then they shut it down, and frequently it comes back then. It seems to me it comes back then as a result of trauma, near-death experiences, or you know, mid 40s and onward, you know, where people start to become back and go, I want to go back and explore that again. And I think, though, that the thing that's different these days is that, and I mention this frequently on the show, I haven't looked the statistics up recently, but year over year for the past few decades, at least in North America, they'll do these surveys or whatever, polls or whatever, where they ask, like, do you believe in the afterlife? Do you believe in ghosts? Do you believe in psychics? Do you believe blah, blah? And, you know, year over year over year, the number becomes bigger in terms of believing in it. And to where it's well over 50% now. And so then it's my assertion that the young children coming up now have, not to say it's not happening, but it's starting to become more likely that they'll be in a supportive environment with parents that won't try to shut them down, and that will also not make the child afraid of it, but just accept it as, you know, and then talk with them about, okay, now let's talk about when to use that and when not to. Like, don't tell your teacher in the middle of English class that, you know, her dead grandmother is standing right behind her and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Don't stand up in the middle of class and say stuff like that. And then it becomes a thing with kids of also helping them to draw boundaries of how they can be the ones in charge, and that they don't have to allow the intrusion by the spirit world, and how to help them cope with that, so that while they're at school, that they can concentrate on school and and these kind of things.
Fully agree with that. And not just children. I mean, we are all created complete, that we have this ability and that. And we all have a gift. We all have an ability to do something. But you're right. We've become such a lazy society. We're just following instructions and we live on instant pudding, that we're not utilizing all our gifts completely. And I know that. But what I feel that is different on these children at this moment as well is they are much stronger psychic, because they are speaking out a lot more than what they ever did. I mean, these are children that the parents have done nothing to do with spirituality, and they've really been very forceful, like this child, like said to his mum, you have to listen to me. You have to. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, and that's what I've come with this bunch of kids that I'm working with, very, very strong and very forceful on sharing what they're feeling and what they're seeing. And I think that's what I found different. Yeah, children are all born spiritual. I mean, grown-ups, we all have it in ourselves. Every person, if you're alive and breathing, you have a gift. You have a gift. You are given something, given some sort of modality that you can evolve with and grow with and share and help your human man. There's no doubt about it. But people just become busy and they just don't. It's easier to go and seek for answers than to awaken themselves. That's why I'm so passionate about sharing and teaching and awakening people. Because in groups with me, I tell them, I'm not teaching you. I'm only awakening what you've already got inside. I'm making you aware of what you already know, but you're not utilizing. I'm just a part of you that's been asleep for a long time, and it's time for you to embrace your life, your completeness.
Right. Well, because, I feel, and I started saying, well, as early as when I started doing my show several years ago, that, given all these holograms and the print media being able to doctor pictures and video, you can't, once upon a time they would say that, if I have to see it to believe it. Now you can't even believe what you see. And so I feel that just as human beings and animals and all forms of life really, are built to adapt to the changing environment, evolution, so that we're evolving, to where, like, I believe that a lot of people's intuition and whatnot is becoming stronger, because it has to. Because that's all you're going to have to rely on anymore at some point here, because you will be able to see a tank rolling down the street, and it won't be a real tank. It'll just be a hologram of a tank. You can't even believe what you see with your eyes anymore. And so we really have to have this intuition become stronger. Just as though when we turn the lights out, our hearing becomes better as a natural response. And so I think that that's also what's been going on with people as well.
Yeah, and it's like, people don't feel it's happening in them. Like whenever I run a meditation workshop, I tell people, feel your breath. Don't just breathe. Feel your breath. Feel what your breath is doing. Feel where it's going. Feel how it's moving. Feel what the job of the breath really is when you breathe properly in through your nose and out through your mouth. A thing of that, just a simple thing like that, can awaken so many parts of you and make you aware and more sensitive as well. And we need to work on that. We really need to work on becoming more attuned with everything within us and around us, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think once upon a time, I got into a bit of a kerfuffle, and I got into a little bit of a disagreement. There was a woman on a radio show that was very strongly opining against any talk, discussion, mention of anything metaphysical in school, and saying that if people want to talk about that in school, they better set up a private school. And I'm like, oh, I think really that within a decade or two, some of these things are going to be part of the discussion in school, and it's going to be how to protect your own energy, how to and these would all be very valuable things for children to be able to discuss and learn about. I really think that in a decade, that we'll see, a transition. I'm not saying away from math and science and all that, but there will be discussion around energy and how our own personal energy and how we protect and preserve that ourselves. Also from littering our energy around.
I tell you a thing that happened with one of my children. This was 20 years ago because he was 10 years old. He was playing on the playground at school, as kids do, and his friend went down a slide and cut his finger, and I've taught all my kids spiritual healing from the day dot and how to stop bleeding, and they always have a sachet of pepper in their pocket all the time. So this kid actually slid down the slide and actually cut his hand open. My son Sean, the first thing he did, he was just went over, gave it some healing energy and poured pepper on it, and then he put his hand on top, and the bleeding stopped, and it was okay. It just it went good. Now, our teacher saw this, and the teacher went and grabbed my son by the ear and took him to the principal's office, you see, and she said to the principal, well, this child witchcraft at school. So the principal, of course, called me, so I went up to the school and I said to her, okay, before you even consider just asking my child, where's Brett? Brett was his friend. He said, oh, he's in the classroom. I said, I want to be here. So I went over and got Brett. I went to the classroom and got him myself. I said, Brett, can you tell me what happened in the playground? And he said, and he said, we were playing on the slide and I cut my hand. So Shawnee did that healing stuff and he put the pepper so stopped my bleeding. And look, my hand's really good now. I can do anything. And I said, do you? And he goes, no. Did he do witchy pirichi? And he goes, no. He didn't do any abracadabra or anything like that. No, he just gave love and healing and pepper and it's all good. I said, oh, thank you. I said, well, principal, you can do what you want. If anybody's doing witchcraft, he's the witch of a teacher. And I walked off, And the principal went down to my house later. And he said, can I have a coffee with you? I go, sure. He says, tell me about it. What is this healing bullshit stuff? So I spoke to him. And then he says, wow. So it's not like witchcraft or anything. No, not at all. Not at all. It's an energy from God, and we pray, and whoever you might believe in Buddha, you might believe in Allah, whoever, it's a godly-like energy, and we deliver it, and that's all it is. It's a simple faith, and people should be educated more because there is some bad stuff out there, but there's a lot of good stuff out there. And so that they send my son to a special school because then I found out he was doing this at the school all the time, so they became concerned about it. So we then went to the special school for kids that.
You were starting to tell the story. I'm all like, see, I'd be the kind of person that I'd be like, I'll be right there, and I would show up with candles and everything. And I'd be like, you know what I mean? But what I want to say is that even Wicca, okay, is acknowledged here as a religion,
Yeah.
and people are be discriminated against on that basis. And so, it bothers me a lot, the negative stigma that, in particular, Wicca seems to have. And
Exactly.
in Europe,
Yeah.
there's still people that be fired from jobs and things like this, even though the laws are there to protect them from that. There's still people that would be fired if their bosses became aware that they were Wiccan and this kind of thing. And there needs to be continued education in this area. That it's not the devil's thing. I even had a regular listener in the past who got all upset when we were starting to talk about crystals and all the different properties and how you could use crystals for various outcomes, including healing, but also other things. And they're all like, I just think that it's a little bit like, not allowed by the Bible. I go, okay, here, think of it this way. In your belief, God created the earth, yes? Yes.
That's right.
God created every stone and crystal that came out of the earth, right? This is just something that's coming from the earth. It's just from the earth. And so it's nothing, and they're there, I'm so glad that you said it that way, and blah, blah. I'm like, I cannot believe, like, the people that would be so afraid of this kind of thing and how natural it is. And really, it was probably in play and long before any of us, and as natural as breathing. You know what I mean? And we know that with native people and things like this, like they've been using stones and other things out, plants and everything like this. You know what I mean? That's coming from the earth. Well, medicine woman once said, like, God created, the creator, whoever you want to call it, creator gave us every single thing that we need to subsist on Mother Earth. Mother Earth provides us with everything we need. We don't need these man-made, maybe now we need man-made drugs because there's man-made diseases and things like this now. You know what I mean? Science created a monster, and so, but other than that, like, there was never any need for anything other than what Mother Earth provides to us by way of food and medicine, to survive.
Yeah, I agree with that tremendously, but, like I said, that was 20 years ago. Now, what I was getting at, that now they're actually starting a meditation group at the, and this is the same school. So 20 years down the track, you can see the transition and change that has taken place and how people accepted of that, So when they have a class of scripture, and once a month they actually do a meditation on scripture time to try and cover for all beliefs and all acceptance. I think it's very good. So back to the conversation we were having 10 minutes ago, as the time goes by, people will become more aware. People will become more at peace in accepting everything that surrounds us, and they'll be able to awaken their own being and their own complex, I think is wonderful.
Right. Okay. All right. Listen, we can, that's right. I think that was a great thing to touch on for tonight. And I know that all of our people here, will be more in the grandparent age, most, and I think also grandparent age as well. Because I really feel that, like, what it is that the older, those of us that have come into our late 40s, 50s, and into early 60s, you know what I mean? That we're the ones that are sort of coming back in touch with all of that, and so we're all okay with it. And then, so we can also serve a role with the younger generation in in helping them feel like that it's perfectly normal and okay for them to explore and better understand and utilize whatever abilities that they have. So I'm going to do a quick song, and then we'll start taking calls, okay?
Okay.
Okay. And so we'll do a quick call, a quick song. Let me just scroll and find out what will I find. Here, we'll do this one, and we'll be back.
If I say to you tomorrow, take my hand, child, come with me to a castle, I will take you. What's to be, they say. Say to me tomorrow, oh, what fun it all would be. Then what's to stop us, pretty baby? But what is and what should never be? Wake up with the sunrise, all your dreams are still as new. Happiness is what you need so bad. Tell it's the Lord to you, yeah. That's the way it's been said away in the day where I am the star.
Are you looking for a place to meet like-minded people? Perhaps you're a light worker looking for a safe place to share your thoughts and services. We've got a place for you. IntuiTalks.com. Join for free, post updates, blogs, create and join groups via website or radio or class package. The possibilities are endless. Join the all spiritual, all under one roof network, www.IntuiTalks.com.
All right. Okay, we're back. Welcome back. And I'm going to do a quick shout out and then we will get going. We do have Miss Amy Kavanaugh, our world's only heaventologist, there with all of her moderator powers. Hello, Amy. Thanks for helping out last night. Appreciate that. Boo Boo, how are you? Hey, Boo Boo. Let's go get a picnic basket. I had to say that it's been a long time since I said that. Carol's there. 2 cell phones from Michigan. I don't know what order they're in anymore. Christy, Dan. Hi, Dan. Deb in Calgary. Diane up there over there in Ontario. Heath and Marie. Marie. And Selva is our guest. Wildflower Wind and Yvette Howell. Yvette Howell is here, ladies and gentlemen. Very good. And so thanks everybody for being here. Now, everybody will listen closely. There's 3 people, I guess, that are going to get a reading here. Unless other people put their hand up or get themselves mic'd up or call in. And this is how it works. All we want you to do is tell Selva your name. And then, ferme la bouche, fecha boca. Shut up. Do not say anything. Selva will then deliver a message to you of general, whatever she's receiving. And then we'll ask you, do you have any questions? Did you have a specific question that you wanted Selva to ask for you? So she just wants to give a pure reading without being, we call it don't feed the psychic. You know what I mean? Don't feed the psychic. And so we don't want you to give. Some people call into the shows and they go, and I love my job, and my boyfriend called, and my boyfriend got thrown in jail, and then my car broke down, and then somebody hacked my bank account and stole all my, and blah, blah, blah. So what do you see for me for the next 3 weeks? You know what I mean? It's like, well, there's nothing left, you know, and so don't say anything, just your name, okay, guys? So let's go get Selva. Hi, Selva.
Hello.
Hello. All right, let's go. Now, Jennifer from Michigan. Please press 1 on your phone right now. Okay. Okay. Hello, Jennifer. How are you?
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Thank you. Very good. Very good. So you understand how this is going to work?
Yeah.
All right.
Great.
Yeah.
You ready, Jen?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Jen, there's a lot of changes that are actually happening all around you. And there's a lot of things you need to do to take a step back and look yourself in the mirror, really become aware. What role did I play in life for everything that's happening to me right now? Things don't just happen by chance. We do contribute on the creation of everything that actually takes place. Sometimes, without offending, you do take things for granted, and then when things go pear-shaped, you look for someone to blame or to justify it in some way. It makes you look like a victim, but you're not the victim. You are really the creator in some ways. You're a beautiful person. You have everything within your being to be able to turn your life around and make decisions that will suit you, will also help you connect to the people that you need in your life altogether. People do take advantage of you quite easily because you're so eager. You're like a bull to a goat. You don't look for signs. You got to start looking for signs. You got to start asking yourself, why is this person asking me to do this? What's wrong with them doing it themselves? Don't be so eager to say, yes, I'll do it, because you've been left holding the bag far too often. And it's time for you to understand that people need it. I'm not telling you not to help anyone. I'm just telling you just to be a little bit more selective because you're being used up somehow. It's like you're a bit of a doormat in direction. There's a lot of money that you need to look into very, very carefully because you have got yourself into a little bit of a pickle financially, and this is a bad time of the year to be in a bit of a pickle space. So it might teach you the value of Christmas itself, that it's not about gift, it's about connecting with people and the love that we share and the connection that we have itself. Romance is also a bit of a challenge at the moment as well, and communication needs to be created in romance. You need to be aware that unless you let the interested party expect from them, they're going to continue making mistakes, and sometimes it leads to dissolution. But you also need to ask the question yourself, how can I make your life better as well? You need to integrate. You need to amalgamate needs and desires as well. Say yes when you mean yes. Say no when you mean no. Don't allow yourself complicated in that area. In the work situation, there's a lot of closing doors as well, so there's going to be some changes of your work structure. So there's a lot of decisions you will need to make about well. So all in all, coming to the end of the year, it's like you're going through a weeding process. You're getting rid of all the weeds so the flowers can bloom and grow happily. So take a step back, reassess, make decisions, acknowledge yourself, and become aware how you are affected in every decision you make. Questions, young lady?
Yes. Will I have another child in my future?
You have what?
Will I have another child? Will I get pregnant and have another baby in the future?
Okay. You need to take a step back and really look at yourself. You burnt out emotionally, and that's what is actually preventing you from having a child. This should be your third pregnancy if you do have another child. But it does show you need to look at yourself emotionally. You're a person, you need to be emotionally happy for all the hormones and everything to wake up and create life, so to speak. And don't have sex to have a child. Love. Don't plan to work to make a child. Just make love. And at the right time it will happen. But I do feel your strongest chances of you being able to conceive won't be until about July next year. All right? On the change from spring to summer, that's when it will happen. I don't see it happening before that. But the first 6 months of the year, it is about recollecting, reassessing, reappraising yourself. Do you understand?
Yes.
Could you connect to that?
Yes, it is.
Beautiful. Beautiful. You can't afford it, Jenny. You don't need it. All right?
All right.
Remember that. You can't afford it. You don't need it, so don't stress. You will always have it. All right? But talk to your partner more, please. You need quality time together. You both get very frustrated sometimes. You need quality. You need to connect a little bit more. You know, when we actually get married or when we actually move in together, that's when we really start dating. And there's a lot of assumption in that space. So you guys need a bit of quality time together. You need some time to not talk responsibilities and obligations and expectations and deliveries. Talk about each other, how you feel, what you need, what you desire from each other. You need a bit more connection, okay?
Okay.
But you will grow old together, okay?
Yes, thank you.
God bless.
God bless you.
Thank you, Jen. Hopefully we didn't traumatize you too much, eh?
No, you didn't traumatize me.
Very good. Thank you so much. Hey, do you have a fan or something blowing on you, Selva? Because every now and then we're getting this.
Yes, I just moved it.
Okay, very good, very good. Okay, I could tell. I name that sound, and I can tell. So, she has another friend. You got to speak up. Okay, you have another friend there? I'm not the psychic, Jen, so you have to, you know what I mean?
Yes,
help
I
me
do.
out here. Okay,
Yes,
so,
I do have a friend.
give us your friend. Give us your friend.
Okay. Hello.
Who's this?
Hello.
Hi.
Your name, please.
My name's Jennifer, too.
Oh, my God. 2 Janet. No wonder y'all are freaking confusing me. Okay, Jennifer number 2.
Hello,
Yes.
Jennifer.
Hi.
Hi. Jennifer, is there something wrong with your shoulders? There's a lot of pressure around your shoulders area. It's very, very tight. So I would suggest for you to get a massage done. You tend to carry a lot of tension around your shoulder blades, and it's just, especially early in the morning. So you're either not lying well, or there's too much on your mind, and your body's starting to show in a physical sense as well. So you need a bit of pampering. You do need a bit of a massage in that area. Opportunities of training to a new direction and a work structure as well. Opportunities of learning and new knowledge for you, which is actually really good. You're a little bit of a procrastinator, and that's a little bit frustrating because it does show that opportunities cross your path quite often, but you tend to take too long to get a decision, and you miss on opportunities due to your procrastination. So you got to be a little bit more off the mark and react a little bit more when opportunities are presented as such. You don't have to agree with everything that goes around, but we've got to learn to respect sometimes what goes around. Many people that are around us, they will do a lot of things that are not to our liking, but we're not their responsible party. So we've got to let them know how it feels, it affects us, but you can never tell someone not to do something. It's important for you to understand that, because sometimes you do get very, very frustrated behaviors of others. But part of it, my granddad used to say that sometimes when people frustrate us is because we see something in them that we need to change in ourselves. I don't agree with that in every certain case, but in your case, I think it is. You have changed so much in the last 6 months, Jennifer. You have gone through a complete transition of self-awareness, and you became aware that you're not the person you thought you were. And some people do want to treat you the old way, and it is affecting you a little bit. So you're going to have to really find a way to let people know what you're okay with and what you're not okay with. Let them know, keep them up to date. Otherwise, assumption is going to create a lot of headaches for you and as well. Okay? Did you have a question?
Well, it kind of changes my whole question now, because you hit it right on the spot. You know, in the last 6 months, my life has changed. So I'm kind of wondering what does the next year bring to me? Because, I mean, I did have a good 2016, but I just kind of I want to know, like, within my relationship and family and stuff like that, what does that hold for me next year?
Okay, you know, relationships don't just happen. Relationships are like a beautiful plant, and if you water and tend to a plant, it grows to a beautiful tree, right? Yeah. And that's what your relationship needs. You guys need to water and tend the plant. You need to keep each other warm a little bit of the things that have changed emotionally between the two of you as well. Your partner is a bit unpredictable, because he really depends what starts out in the morning is what we're going to have on the day. But he's only learning how to think now. You know, he's a good guy, but he just a Cassidy. He doesn't do a lot of thinking, but he's starting to do thinking now, and he's starting to make decisions. So communication is going to be important, but I do feel you are with the right partner to be with, and so therefore life will balance out because of it. In the work sector, like I said, next year there are opportunities for further training and learning, doors opening for, so there's a lot of security in there. In the family space, I don't pick up a great deal It shows that you should have been out of 3 children. I don't know or not, but it shows the energy of 1 of 3. And it does show that your parents could be contemplating a change of residence space to manage better their own future and their own finances as well. So I do see them making big decisions that some of you might question it, how they're changing their life now. But I think they're trying to simplify their lives so they can have more free time ahead. So there's a lot of little changes in the family space.
Okay.
Awesome. Could you follow that?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, you have a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year.
You too.
God bless.
God bless you.
Thank you, Jennifer, number 2, and thanks for calling in, and take good care. Thank you.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Okay, very good. Now we'll go to Carol, and then we'll go to Christy. So here comes Carol. Hi, Carol.
Hi.
Hi, Carol. Neil. Good. I'm great. Do you like Neil Sedaka?
Pardon me? Yes, I do.
Because he's singing, that old Carol song.
Yeah.
Carol, I'm but a fool. And it's really good because it's like you got people on guard. That's what that song tells me. He said you're actually on guard. You're a little bit unpredictable at the moment, and I think that's wonderful, but also very long overdue. And it's like you've got people on guard, and it's like people now, they just can't assume that you're going to be there. They've got to actually ask you, Carol, what are you doing? Where do we fit in? Are you busy? Are you not busy? And I'm glad because you were at everybody's begging call for so long that is really glad that there's finally consideration. And I'm really glad about that. I am concerned, however, about your health a little bit. All right. Nothing serious. All right. So you don't need to write your will or anything like that. But I am worried about your swallowing for some reason. Every now and then there are certain foods that are hard to swallow than others. So that tells me that your esophagus is actually quite dry. So I don't know whether it's because you're not drinking enough water or, you need to hydrate somehow because your inner feels quite dry in there. And what happens is the esophagus is quite dry. It actually starts scratching and it creates problems later on. All right? So I don't know if you are having trouble swallowing, but that's what I'm feeling. And it is concerning me a little bit. All right. Also, it does show vehicle on a white car and the front wheel for some reason. Just make sure that they're not bowled or something because there's something wrong with the front tire of a car. So be careful with that. Now, did you have a question, young lady?
No, not really.
All right. Well, I hope you have the merriest Christmas and the best for 2017.
Thank you.
That's it. All right. Okay, Carol.
Okay.
Thank you. Take it easy. Okay, Miss Michigan, unplug yourself there. Christy.
Hello, ladies. How are you tonight?
Good, thanks. How about you?
Not going to complain. It's not snowing.
Good.
Aww. Now, what's your name?
Christy. Christy from
Christy.
Michigan.
Okay. Christy from Michigan. Michigan is popular tonight. Christy, you're an amazing person. You need to know that. You really need to know that, but not just know that. You need to believe that. Like you second guess yourself all the time. It's like you're waiting for that approval all the time, and you're recognizing other people. You're good at pointing things out to other people. You're good at making people part of their own awareness. But you don't do it to yourself. You do it to yourself. You're an amazing person, and people rely on you and they believe in you a lot more than what you realize, because you have great potentials and really the sky with you. There's nothing you cannot achieve unless you say, no, I don't want to do that. All right. Also, it does show opportunities of business of your own will be present next 2 to 3 years as well. So I do feel that you will make a decision regarding an interest that might lead you into a personal enterprise or a position of great responsibility in the workplace. But either or other, you're heading up, you're going up, you're escalating to the top where you'll be recognized and directed as well. You have a full color as well, so trust the color choices around you, because you do have this need to connect colors. What you wear, the color you wear. You should study color theory or something, because the color you wear tends to affect you on a personal level as well. So look into that if you can, if you get a chance, because it's a lot. Also seems to be a reunion with friends that you've not seen for a while. And it's going to be good, because it's going to make you aware of how much you have changed personally by connecting and letting your friends know what you're up to nowadays, and they will not hesitate to tell you how much you have changed for one reason or another. Now, you are getting pressure on the head. I was going to say, but it's not a headache, it's more like a pressure. So I don't know if there is anybody that you know that does head massage, but that's what or just go to the hairdressers and get your hair washed, and they seem to do a good head massage when they wash your hair. But you need to do that. Your scalp feels very tight, and you loosen it, and there's a bit of pressure in there. Questions, young lady?
I'm going to try to word this right. Do you see any pitfalls over the next 6 weeks that you feel I could get ahead of?
I don't know, pitfalls, really. I feel there's going to be slight delays, but a lot of it is because you got a gut feeling, something you shouldn't do, and it's like you feel that you have to do. It's like you're caught up in a situation that you're really not sure, should I do this or not? And that's what will create a pitfall, because when you're uncertain about something, it just doesn't fall in place. Like, you're a person that if you believe in what you're doing and you're strong about what you're doing, everything falls in place. Everything really lands perfectly as it should. But your mind is such a strong mind that you are able to manifest by the thought transition as well. And that?
That makes sense.
Do you understand? So how about asking the exact question of the outcome of this thing you have happening?
I have a court date that's scheduled this Wednesday, where I have to appear in front of DHS, and I just submitted a fax yesterday requesting a delay. I requested a delay so that I can have a face-to-face meeting with this judge instead of doing a telephone hearing, because I'm not comfortable with a telephone hearing at all.
Yeah, and it will be a delay. It will be a delay because it feels inconclusive. It feels inconclusive, but there's just so much. That's why, you're sort of caught up, and now I understand why I'm caught up, that you're feeling there's something you've got to do, but it's not what you want to do, and it's like you really need to pursue it. You really need to express it. You really need to get clear, because you need that face-to-face space. You need that chance to be there and feel that energy. You're a person that if your presence is there, you have more power, you have more ability, you're able to express yourself better than what you would on a phone situation, even a video situation,
But I was also told,
I said, I feel there will be a delay.
I was told that there was a really good chance that they would deny my request for a face-to-face because I made the request so late in the date. So that's actually a really, really good thing, because They told me they wouldn't have to tell me until Tuesday if there was a delay, because the meeting is Wednesday, and they have up until 24 hours to tell me. And so I was just going to be worrying about that all weekend. Are they going to allow me to postpone this and give me the time I need, or are they just going to, shoot for it Wednesday? So that's very helpful to me right now.
Listen though. You should prepare as though it is happening Wednesday. So at 4 o'clock in the afternoon Tuesday, if they happen to call you and say, sorry, tough luck, we're going ahead, you're not in a flippin' panic. So prepare, have your notes ready to proceed on Wednesday, and if it doesn't happen, then that's good. You'll have more time yet, but I don't want to see you last minute get thrown into, because then you'll be even more rattled for the hearing itself on Wednesday if it does happen to go ahead.
I agree.
I fully agree. I fully agree with you, because then you prepare as much as you can, and then if it is delayed, which is a strong chance that it will be, you can polish it up. You can really finalize whatever information you've not been able to prepare in that space. But you should be prepared anyway. You should always be prepared just in case. And try this weekend not to bury yourself on trying to just think of that only. Have a meditation, clear your mind, clear your thought, make peace with you, so that way you can be at your strongest if it's not delayed. Because at the moment, it's like chasing your own tail. You're just panicking. Heath says, be a Girl Scout. And I agree with him. You've got to be a Girl Scout, always prepared, always be ready. So
yeah.
You've got to do, it's very important. But, things that are on your favor, and I do feel that even the other party, they don't have all the information, so it's like they're playing Fox, they are playing Fox. So it's like they're sort of sneaking around and they're working with half of the information. You actually have more information than what they have themselves. All right. So it's a bit of a he said, she said thing, but except that you can prove things a little bit better. Okay?
Yes. I come across some private messages that I thought I had deleted today that are extremely beneficial to me.
Yeah.
That I just need to figure out how to print out. And I ran the roads today to both my doctor's offices and got all of the copies of my medical notes that I needed for Wednesday. Good. So I am expecting it to go forth Wednesday, whether it gets postponed or not. I am just going to tell myself Wednesday, or, do or die. And I got that done today.
Yeah.
But you also made the comment that I reconnect with old friends. So I made plans both today and tomorrow to catch up with some people that I used to work with at Arby's, just to distract myself. And I haven't seen these ladies in a long time. I haven't seen her in over a year. So I thought that was, you caught that right away, that I was reconnecting with them.
And it's good. It's what you need. It's what you really need, because that will give you a freshness. That will give you a freshness to put you in a different space and it'll help you forget where you are right now. And you are pretty prepared. I mean, you have got a lot of information. You've got a lot of things in place, and you're actually more prepared than what you thought, which I think is wonderful, okay? But just be kind to yourself and try this weekend to have some me time to rejuvenate and re-strengthen. And I'm glad catching up with people you've not seen for a very long time, because it would also make you aware of how much you have changed and grown yourself, and how much space you are than what you think you are as well, which I think is fantastic.
I'm going to have to learn to be a little more proactive. I just always assume that people will figure out on their own that, this is the truth, and that, I don't constantly need to correct them, and I don't need to, say it. And that's something that I'm going to have to say I learned in 2016.
That is wonderful. That's really wonderful. You're a good person, and remember that, and good things happen to people. It's just that sometimes we need to go through a period of a wake-up call to learn true self-appreciation, and that's what you're going through at the moment. It's like you are dealing with your truth, and you are really delivering your truth. And when we do that, we become aware of the appreciation that we have for ourselves and the recognition that we have every ability to survive whatever comes our way.
Thank you. Thank you, Selva. I needed that little boost tonight. And I am looking forward to seeing my old gal pals. And the headache, I'm pretty sure will get better as soon as I can get back on the sleeping pattern. I think that the seasonal affect disorder is making me exhausted. I mean, it's dark here in Michigan by 5:30, and it's just colder, and it's just going to take a couple more weeks for me to acclimate a little bit better.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is this. The good news is this: is that 2 weeks from now, it's going to be it'll start to get to reverse, and we'll start to get longer days again. And so there's only 2 more weeks to where it's going to be at its peak of dark early and everything else, and then it'll start to get better after that. So I know that's killing me too. Get your vitamin D as well, eh?
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. You can't hurt. Yeah. My doctor was trying to explain to me the other day that there's these light boxes. He said it's a light box, and there's some kind of a bulb, and it's shaped like a square, and even if your doctor writes you a prescription here in Michigan, that they can even help pay for some of the costs, because some of them are expensive. So I'm going to have to explore that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep. Good.
But get a good massage, okay? That'll help you release some of the head pain anyway.
That sounds great.
Go get your head rubbed.
Yeah, I need a haircut for the holidays anyway, so I'm on it.
Good. You do that. Awesome.
Thank you, ladies.
Christine. Thanks and good luck, and I know I'll be talking with you anyway, so.
All right.
Okay. So, hey, I do have, and now, you guys in the chat room, you bumped some log over there in the chat room. Yvette Howell, you should call in. Selva's quite amazing, actually, and that we've run to the end of our callers, and so, but I am going to have a question okay, Yvette's going to call in. I am going to have a question personally for you as well, and that'll give Yvette time to call in. And then, so it looks like we might wrap a little bit early again, unless a bunch of people line up now. And get on it, you guys. Don't wait too long. So I have had somebody contact me to meet for coffee this week, and it's I just wonder, what's the real agenda on this person's part for connecting with me and wanting to get together for coffee?
I think this person that is messaged you is someone that has been sort of to you for some time, and it's been on the background, on the back burner, as we call it in Australia, for quite some time. And it's like, I think it probably knows enough about you, and I do feel there's going to be some sort of opportunity presented to you if the meeting goes okay. So you probably will find that at the beginning of it will be just a lot of small talk, oh, the weather is cold, do you watch football, how's it going? Just a lot of dribble for some time. It's like he's going to she's going to see how you are as a person. But I do feel that this person has an opportunity in mind to present to you. And I'm not sure whether it's on the first meeting that she brings the opportunity forward, or it said, look, we need to get together again. There is something that I need to discuss with you. But it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity that you're really going to have to think very carefully of accepting, because it's something that will change your life in some way as well. And I'm glad because you have put in a lot of hours, Chris, into public relations that you're not even aware of, probably. And I think this is something to do with public relations that is coming your way, and it's an opportunity that will give you a new interest direction, but I think it will help you financially as well.
Yeah, okay. So just to clue you in on it, because I believe that it's partly, and it said it's my agenda that there will be an opportunity out of this. But what it is I've been estranged from my own personal family for, I don't know, 20, year, maybe 30 years. And along the way, 16 years after the first estrangement, my brother contacted me, and I went and I met my brother, and I didn't know that he had been gotten married and had a couple kids in the meanwhile, yeah? And so, I went and I met his wife and his two kids and had supper at their house one night. And that's about the sum total. But what this is that it's, his ex, now they've gotten a divorce, which I just found out through this contact. And it's his ex-wife. And they got a divorce a number of years ago, I guess. And, and so she just said, that she, thinks it's like a little bit of age and introspection and things like this that has caused her to reach out, and find out how I'm doing and get together with me. But now, so that's fine. I'm certain that it's got nothing to do with her trying to, get information out of me about the brother or the family or anything like that.
Oh, no.
No, because their divorce is long over and everything like this. But as it turns out, she's fairly well positioned in the government, the provincial government in the HR department. So it's on my agenda to have at least leave a strong hint that I could use a foot in the door in any kind of a job. Crappy job, doesn't matter. I need a job. And so that's my agenda.
I think I have something in mind though, Chris. I really do feel she does have something in mind, but it's like first she wants to feel you as a person. It's like it's going to be a lot of small talk, a lot of dribble for a little while, and depending whether you just run out of time and you over dribble or not, it's whether you find out on that first meeting or whether I said, look, we need to get together again. There's something I would like to discuss with you. So I think she will ask you a lot of questions, and things like that. It's like she really will want to get to know you. It's like she never had the chance to get to know you as such. But I do feel that she's been following you for some time. So she's definitely been on the back burner.
Cool. Well, that's very good. So that's good. Like I don't see any downside except for now I'm getting myself excited about hopefully can get a job, and I hope that I don't get disappointed because it's like the biggest glimmer of light I've had in a long, long time, and I'm really at a point. Like I feel that this is all timed out by the universe. You know what I mean? I think that you're right. I think that in the back of her mind, she's wondered about me, and everything like that. But I think that she must have been sitting around one day and the universe sent her a little message like, get a hold of Chris. You should get a hold of Chris. Because at that time I was crying out to the universe for, I need help. I need help. And so I really think that the timing of all of this is very synchronistic for that purpose, and whether she knows it or not. She's going to find out though. And, I'm pretty good at schmoozing, and so we'll get along great, I'm sure of it, and it'll be a good meeting. And I'm fine with, I'm not going to rush it in, and I know how to kind of handle myself in this, and so, that's good. Okay. Well, so we have Yvette now, holding on to talk.
But Chris, wait a minute. I'm not done with you. there's a lot of things, that you could actually do yourself to work as payable work for you as well. You really need to step back and look at yourself and what you actually do and the connections that you have created and how you can actually turn it into a vibration that will give you a financial outcome of a security as well. There's many ways, but it's like you're looking at you. You're not looking at your capabilities, and other people will see your potentials before you will, because you don't see your potential, and you're an extremely outgoing person. You're a person you could very easily organize, let's say, for example, organize a conference or something like that, and sort of make it into a visible space for you financially. You can also look into destinations and promote them into people and talk about it, because you're a wealth of knowledge. It's incredible. Don't sell yourself short. You're an amazing person. It's like you're not recognizing your potentials, that's all.
I am so freaking
This woman
awesome.
does.
I can hardly stand myself.
You are
Okay,
freaking awesome. You are.
Okay, thank you for that. And so are we ready to speak with Yvette now?
Sure.
Okay, very good. Hello, Yvette. How are you? Nice of you to be here.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hi, Yvette. That's such a pretty name.
Thank you.
I've never met before. You're my first Yvette ever. It's a
really?
real pretty name. It is a pretty name. It's almost like a flower energy. And, when I feel your name, that's what I see. I see flower. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Heath wrote down wildflower wind. Yeah, good. It's true. That's exactly how I feel, Heath. Get off my head. That's exactly how I feel. It's beautiful flower wind, and it's beautiful, and it's sweet, and it's a combination of many things. You've got a beautiful energy, a beautiful vibration about you. There's a lot of changes that are happening in your own understanding of everyday living, which is really, really good. It's really giving yourself permission to simplify your life, and I think it's wonderful. And you're taking one step at a time. It's like you're not rushing into a thing. You're really looking at things very carefully. You are making the decisions when you're ready to make decisions. You're in a really good space right now. And so therefore, I do feel that 2017 is going to be a year of a lot of growth for you, a lot of recognition, a lot of establishing security, which I think is fantastic as well. I know what it is with a camera with you as well, so I do see you. I don't know whether you're going to go into promotional work or something, but I do see you taking a lot of snaps and taking a lot of information about promoting someone or some event as well. So it's a busy period ahead, which is actually really, really good.
Awesome. That's great.
Awesome. Do you have a question?
I don't really. I like what you said.
Good. Can you relate to it, more to the point?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's the main thing, Okay.
The funny thing about the camera was I've been working on downloading my photos from my iCloud to the computer. It's kind of driving me a little bit crazy because I want to make sure they're there. But I'm not really sure what I'm doing if I'm doing it properly. So it's one of those things about computers that drives me a little bit crazy. So I was working really hard on that while I was listening to the show. So that's kind of funny. But I am taking things one at a time. I'm being a lot more gentle with myself and just instead of trying to do everything, I'm just trying to do what I need to do at the moment, just at this moment.
Yeah, it's really good. And if a computer confuses you, just go and get your closest 7-year-old and they'll have it in 2 seconds flat.
Well, I have a 12-year-old who's going on 30 who thinks I'm the stupidest person alive, so.
Yeah, but it's going on 30, but then when it walks in, hi. There's someone. What was that? 14. Pat. Oh yeah. Just 2 seconds. Just go through the door here. Yeah. Yeah. So the Selva chain lady just arrived to help me with my mother-in-law. How sweet. You know, things I've got to organise, and forgot she was coming. 1,000 pardons. But she's walked through now. It's good. No, but it does show that, you know, your 12-year-old, I'm glad you bought your 12-year-old. He's amazing. There's more to him than meets the eye. And he's a kid that his action will speak louder than his words. You know, he's a kid also that I would not chastise. Whenever he makes a mistake, I would sit down with him and say, okay, help me understand why you did that. Because you must have a good reason to do it, because otherwise you wouldn't. He's a thinker, your son, and he's able to. If people make him aware of things, he just grows into the.
Are you there, Selva?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Sorry, I thought I lost sound. Her child is a daughter. Her child is a daughter.
It's amazing. It's amazing kid. But is Yvette still there or gone?
No, I'm here. I was thinking she wants to be a boy now.
yeah. Because I pick up this strong. I don't know. It's just a strong masculine energy.
Yeah,
that's what I
she's a
thought
Sagittarian,
it was a boy, you know?
so that's a very masculine.
But it's a beautiful kid. Whenever she does something wrong, don't just ask it. Just say, look, help me understand why you did that.
You're right.
Because it's not right. It's not right for me, but it's probably right for you, and that's why you're doing it. And you'll find that the minute doing that, she'll make a lot less mistakes.
Yeah. We just had a big blowout today, so.
Oh God!
About that very issue, because I was chastising her for doing something that didn't make any sense to me, but she had a good reason. And once we got past all the shouting, and I started listening, and she started calming down, then I realized that she had a reason, and that's, you know, that it made sense to her, even if it was kind of weird to me. So yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad I brought that up, because it sort of confirmed, you know, that you need to do that more, you know, because she's a good kid. She's basically a good kid. Yeah. She's a bit of a know-it-all, but, you know. Yeah, she's your perfect creation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
God bless. Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do then is we're going to give people one last chance to call in or whatever. I'm going to do a quick song, and then we'll see where we're at with that, okay?
Uh-huh.
All right, here we go.
Looking from the window above, it's like a story of love. Can you hear me? Came back only yesterday, moving farther away. Won't you hear me? All I needed was the love you gave. All I needed for another day, and all I ever knew. Sometimes when I think of you, when it's only a game, and I need you, listen to the words that you say, getting harder to say. When I see you, all I needed was the love you gave. All I needed for another day, and all I ever knew, only you.
I love that song. I really like that song. And so, okay, any other callers? I see none. So here's Selva. Whoops. So what do you got coming up besides the big move? Is that where all your efforts are being focused now for the next 5 weeks then, Selva?
No, we still got the meditations every day, and we still got everything is as normal, except extra work. That's what we do. I don't stop for Christmas. I'll continue right through Christmas. Christmas Day is the only day that we don't really do anything because everybody's so busy with their families and that. But continue all the way through because there are so many people out there that they don't have families and they don't have anyone to share this time with. So I just think it's normal. So they've got somewhere to go and somewhere to hang and someone to be with, and it's cool, and it's really, really cool, which is really, really good. We just started a tarot deck with my tarot developing group, and it's really good. We're doing some art lessons and being active to try and put this deck together. So it's quite exciting at the moment. I've got a lot of busy things ahead, which is good. Yeah. What about you? I mean, what about you?
Yeah, no, that's kind of how I do what I do with my show on Christmas Day is I like last year I was on the air I think from noon till midnight just to have a place a place with playing Christmas music and having the chat room open and nothing really planned, just because we have a lot of solitary type of people as well, and of course some of them having just lost a family member the year before, so it's their first Christmas without somebody that they love very much, and so that's kind of what I've been Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and New Year's Eve I kind of just like open the doors up and just kind of chill and hang for a good chunk of the day from noonish until midnight, and so that's good because I'm a kind of one of those people, which is to say I don't go anywhere for Christmas or have Christmas with anybody or anything like that, and so it's a good spend of my time too, to do such a thing. So that's really what I got, and then whatever this meeting is going to bring. And I just, I wouldn't be too surprised if, she's going to, what are you doing at Christmas? And I'll be, nothing. She, you should come to my, and I'll be like, yeah, no, I'll tell her really that I have, an on-air commitment. And, but, I expect that she would probably offer, for me to come and spend some time there for Christmas, but no, I wouldn't do that. I never have. I mean, in all these years, it's been my preference to just kind of chill alone, be on my own for Christmas. You know what I mean? I have had no lack of offers. Of course, most of those years I was working, and all of my coworkers were all like, "Oh, you got to come to my," I'm all like, "No, I appreciate it, but I kind of even prefer just to have my own time at this time of year, and thank you for the offer and everything like that." But so that's kind of not much. I mean, I have my birthday coming up next week too, which is also really a non-event. And Yvette,
which day is your birthday?
Wednesday. I think that's Wednesday. 14th.
That's Thursday. Yeah.
Oh, it's 14th to Thursday. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
14th. Wow.
What? Oh, that's your Thursday. It's my Wednesday, right?
No, the days fall in the same day. The 14th is here and the 14th is a Thursday there.
14th is a Wednesday here, anyway.
My friend's birthday's on the 12th, and he tells me his birthday's on the 12th. Let me look at this calendar.
off
Yeah,
Monday.
he will be wrong. He'd be late for his own birthday.
Yeah, exactly.
It is Wednesday. 1,000 apologies. Yeah.
I'm all like, whoa.
I'll have to text him later. Say, hey, Chris, your birthday's on the Monday, not the Tuesday.
Oh, your friend's name is also Chris?
Yeah, Christopher, actually. We call him Chris. He's actually a radio announcer here in Western Australia, 6BR, which is a commercial radio that I do a spot with. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So it is. It's really good to do stuff on commercial radio, because people, you never know how they're going to react. You never know what's going to happen, which is really, really good.
Yeah. So that's cool. So basically then, we will still see you though before, we'll see you next Friday here. And,
yeah.
So we're not done with you before Christmas just yet, young lady.
No, I'll be available with me.
Yeah, we still have you 2 more times before Christmas. So, so that's good. And, that's perfect. So, unless you had anything else you wanted to talk about, then we're pretty much done.
I'm just going to tell, because of people being and stuff like that, don't be scared to say hello to a stranger. Don't be scared to say hello to a stranger, because you never know. A stranger is only a friend you're yet to meet.
Right.
My granddad used to say that. When we were little, we used to go out with him, and he used to say to us, okay, I'll walk up to that person over there and ask him 3 questions. And he goes, okay, what do I have to ask him, Granddad? Go up and ask him to give you some advice. And then ask them, do they follow their own advice?
Mm-hmm.
And then ask them, well, has this encounter helped them reassess their advice?
Right.
And you'd be surprised, actually, how people come up with.
Yeah.
And you go up and they give you the most weirdest advice and the most answer you'd ever think of.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, you end up talking to them for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
And
I can get that with you. Yeah. I get approached by strangers quite a lot, like, in the shopping center, in the grocery store and stuff like that. And sometimes I have to say, I really have to get going, you know what I mean? Like, I gotta get, cause you get yak, you know what I mean? And so, I agree with that.
Yeah.
And, funny because there was, there's 2 things you made me think of just by saying that. One is that, if you said to try this out with people that you guys, right? And go, if you found out that you had 5 minutes left to live, you were going to die in 5 minutes, who would you call? Right? And, and then they'll say who it is, and oftentimes it's somebody that they don't call very often. And then you say to them, what are you waiting for? Why will you wait until you're about to die? Call them now. You know what I mean? And the funniest thing is, though, that when I got asked that question, and I had no idea where it was leading. You know what I mean? I said, well, I would call my own phone and leave a voicemail message as to who I wanted to get who I wanted to get what. You know what I mean? I'm all like, I'll call myself and leave my last. I'll call myself and leave my last instructions. You know what I mean? So so that certain people, not really even to make sure that certain people get certain things, just to make sure that certain somebody doesn't get something. You know what I mean? And so that was my solution. Is I'm gonna leave a 5-minute voicemail message saying everything that I want to happen. You know what I mean? Following my death. And I bet you a lot of people never ever answered that way. And,
You know,
and the second, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
And then the second thing that you reminded me of, and you'd be a good one to answer this question actually, and anybody else in the chat room. But you guys that already know this, please don't give it away. Don't give it away in the chat room, and just let don't give it away. So you are no longer allowed to be a human being, Selva. Okay, and you have to choose an animal that you would be instead. And just in case that, because we can't have everybody be a Siberian tiger, so just in case, you can't have your first choice, you're to list 3 choices in your order of priority, in your order of preference. And what animal will you be? But importantly, not just what animal, but why? Why that animal? So what would your first animal be?
An owl. Why? Because an owl carries wisdom and lives a full life by observing everything that surrounds it.
Uh-huh.
The second one?
Yeah.
The second one, I would be a tiger. A tiger has no fear and is there to actually other animals, as well as prepare to challenge anyone that crosses their path. Will always stand up for their own belief. And the third one, I would have to say a dog.
Okay, and why?
A dog has got loyalty, it's got strength, it represents everything that I believe. To be faithful to people, to be consistent, to be loving, caring, understanding, supportive, and protective.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? You've perfectly illustrated how accurate this method is. And so the thing is that it's a really great thing to. It's a good icebreaker if you're ever with a new group of people, and you're trying to team build or do anything like that. It's kind of a good icebreaker thing to do, but it's a way to get to know somebody that you don't know. And it's not important really what animals did they pick as much as why. And so the thing is that, and really the first 2 animals don't matter all that much at all. The first animal is the way that others might perceive you. The second animal is perhaps the way that you perceive yourself. The third animal is the way you really are. So that it fit very well. Yeah, it fit very well for you. And it's funny because and I've told this story, so some of my listeners will know this. But when I asked, first of all, when I was only about 14 years old or something like this when this one was asked of me, and I had chosen a bird because they're free to fly, a horse because they're free to run, and I picked a koala bear because they're cute and cuddly.
They're vicious,
so,
Oh,
I know.
Koala
be
vicious.
The point is this: if I chose
I know what you mean. Yeah.
If then that's what I'm driving at, is that my brother did the same exercise, and he picked all predators. But because they're the biggest, the baddest, the meanest, they can kill you in one swipe, they can do this, you know what I mean? And so I had a boss one time who, for example, picked a king cobra snake. But he picked the king cobra snake because they're very protective of their family, of and all this kind of stuff. So it's to the reason why that is so vital to this exercise, and not. 2 people could pick a grizzly bear, and for completely different reasons, and it will tell you something about them. You know what I mean? Exactly. The other thing you'll notice if you ever try to do this exercise with somebody else is that lots of times people have no problem rattling off number 1 and number 2. And then they stall on number 3, and and they really have a hard time coming up with the third one. And I always find that to be really interesting, since that's the important one in the process. And you didn't have any problem, listing off all three of yours, but if you ever do adopt this as an exercise to try with any of your groups or anything like that, then take note, because I'm sure that you'll find that a good number of people will struggle with the third animal. They'll go, I don't know. And, anyway, there you go, like that. And that's another kind of an ice-breaking question to ask, in just like strike up conversation with. I don't mean you walk up to some complete and ask them that question out of the gate, but if you find but if you find yourself engaged in some kind of a sort of small talk thing with somebody that you don't really know, this is a good little thing to bring up. It's always interesting. It's always interesting to hear the answers. So there.
That's good. I will use it on my meditation group on Tuesday. It's a nice bunch of ladies there, and I will use it and see what they come up with. It'd be quite interesting.
It would be. I'd be interested to hear back from you next week on it. And it's alarmingly accurate. It's alarmingly accurate. Not alarmingly, but I mean it's very accurate. I think you're going to find that it's very accurate. And so if you're like, for people that are meeting like somebody like on a date for the first time or something, great question to ask them, because if they pick as their third animal, like the lion, because they're the king of the jungle and everything, they get what they want, they get, and blah blah blah.
Get the heck out of there.
Pay attention. They're a very dominating person, even conversely, if they pick like a fox because they're sneaky and tricky and all of that, like, you might want to take notice of stuff like that too. They might be of no physical harm to you, but they might not be very honest either. You know what I mean?
That's right.
That kind of thing. So it's a great little tool and kind of fun. And people will answer it without real, they're going to answer it just like as, without, because they haven't got any idea where it's going, and it's just kind of a neat little thing to do, right? They don't really understand that they're going to be revealing quite a bit about themselves just through that process, and so it's a good one to try. So I look forward to hearing back from you next week about how your group responded to that one.
I will. I mean, Tuesday is only a small group. There's only 4 ladies that come. So it's a small group, and we all know each other very well. So I know they will be relaxed to think about it carefully and to answer it honestly, which is really cool.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Great. Cool. Well, so I don't know if you're going to hang out or you got to get going and get packing and everything else like that, I suppose. And
that's what I'll be doing.
Yeah. So thank you so much.
Thank you once again.
I appreciate your time, especially that you would give us this time in light of the fact that you're very busy with this move and stuff like that. We really appreciate it.
I think it's awesome. You got me out of work. I reckon it's fantastic. You did me a favor this time. Now, thank you, everybody, and take care, and we shall tune in next week again.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Selva. You take care. Have a great week.
I will.
Okay. All right, guys. So I don't know if we're going to do overtime or what we're going to do, but I will throw on a song, and then we'll come back and see where we're at, okay?
Sound of the river, you stop and you hold everything. A band is blowing Dixie, car George. He knows all the chords. But he's strictly rhythm, he doesn't want to make it cry or sing. He said an old guitar is all he can afford. When he gets up under the light to play his bass. And Harry doesn't mind if he doesn't make the scene. He's got a day time's up. He's doing all right. He can play the honky tonk like anything. Saving it up Friday night with the Sultans, with the Sultans of Swing. Then a crowd of young boys there fooling around in the corner. Something dressed in their best brown baggies in their platform clothes. They don't give a damn about any trumpet playing band. It ain't what they call rock and roll. And the Sultans, yeah, the Sultans play Creole. Creole. Then the man steps right up to the microphone. Says it left just as the time bell rings. Good night, now it's time to go home. Then he makes it bad with one more thing. We are the Sultans. We are the Sultans of Swing.
Right, there we go. We're back, and who's there? Unmute thyself. I see Deb is there. Michigan, Carol, you guys can unmute Yvette if you want. Otherwise, it's just Deb, or what are we doing, people? What are we doing?
Heath wants to change my name to Madeline.
Madeline? Why?
He thinks I'm a little French girl.
A little French girl. He has a little French girl fantasy, or what?
I don't know. I do remember the book, Keith. I do. Yeah, it was a nice book. You don't remember that book?
See, I didn't get a good childhood with books.
Oh my God. Well,
I was hit by books, not being anyway.
one thing I did was I had a lot of books when I was growing up.
Who else is it? Is it just Deb today, you guys? Were we going to get Deb to?
Who knows?
Hello.
Oh, hello, Chris.
Hey, Chris, do you remember the other night when we were talking with Barbara DeLong? And remember I called in a couple of weeks ago, and I called in and we were talking about that guy that was going to record the song for me and stuff.
Okay. I don't remember.
You don't remember, eh?
No.
Well, anyway, she said something like, don't go out with that guy or something like that, right? She was like poo-pooing that one. And, he just showed his true colors yesterday, and I'd had a conversation with him in the Facebook chat, and then I thought, that's funny, I haven't seen anything from him, and I went to go look at his profile, and I saw he had unfriended me. And I was like, oh, really? So I sent him a message. And when you're not friends, they have to approve the message, right?
Right.
And so I sent the message. I said, hey, it looks like, I see you've unfriended me. I said, asked him why and whatever. And he just said, oh, well, we weren't on the same page. Like, he was kind of making the moves on me the last Facebook chat I had with him. And I basically told him, no, I wasn't coming over there, that I wasn't, comfortable going somewhere like that on my own, And apparently his male ego got offended or something and just said, oh, well, we weren't on the same page. And I wrote him, and he's like, oh, I wish you all the best and everything. And I said, hey, yeah, no problem. I said, what was it I said? I said, well, we were I think we're in two totally different age brackets anyway. And,
so you were calling him old? Were you calling him old?
No, I'm the old one.
Younger? Oh, he's young.
He's the young one, I think. He's young, but he didn't want to admit to that, He said, oh, well, I don't think so. And I'm like, okay, see ya. Wow. Anyway, Barbara was totally right about this guy,
Huh.
Yeah.
Called us spade.
Yeah, and anyway, I said to him, I was only ever looking for a friend. I wasn't looking for anything else,
Wasn't looking to rub your head or anything
yeah.
like that, buddy.
And I said, you approached me, by the way, So.
Punk.
Yeah.
Punk?
Yeah, punk. So
well,
that's
okay, I'm
done.
going to tell you guys a story. I'll tell you guys a story.
Okay.
Air miles piss me off, okay? There was doing the big thing about how, air miles are, because back in 2012 they went to this thing where you can split and you either cash, you could save cash, or you can get air mile points, dream points or whatever you want to call it. And I had quite a few points there for a while, but I had needed a few things, so I wound up spending them on that. But anyway, so they had been making a big news deal out of, points, people are all upset because points are set to expire this, and blah, blah, blah. And so I was like pissed off by that, and I only had about 1,100 air miles left anyways on that part of it. And so there was a couple things I wanted, but no matter which way I went, like if I put the two things together, I was like short by just a few points, air miles, right? And I was pissed off because I was under the gun to pick something, or lose the miles altogether. And so, so I put in an order, and I wound up getting like a 3-tier rice cooker steamer thing, you know what I mean? And then the second thing was just like a water pick, you know what I mean? Like for your teeth, eh? And, there would have been other things I would have rather gotten. And so now she's not even listening. She's not even listening. Not even listening.
Did you leave that?
She just got up and fucking flipped. I'm like, I'm going to take an opportunity to, now for the archive people, they'll be wanting to. So I'm going to give, rather than cutting off overtime, I'm going to just give the warning, the language warning, that there may or may not be the occasional curse word in overtime, and it's past midnight on the East Coast. And children think that it's the next day. Put a headset on because you might hear an F-bomb. So you got up in the middle of my important story that I was telling you, Dab, and you just walked off. You know what I mean? You just walked off. And so I'm like, well, why am I telling this fucking story, right? So
it's still recording, girl.
So are you ready to finish the story? Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm sorry. My kettle was boiling.
All right. Okay. Okay, well, I'll tell the story in a minute. I'm going to go get a coffee. I'm kidding. So anyway, I go ahead and I pick these two things out of haste. Not things I would have chosen if I weren't under the gun to spend the points, but the fact that they were expiring. And so, anyway, one thing, I don't know if you heard this or not, Deb, but one of the things is a 3-tier, like, rice cooker / steamer, okay? And then the second thing is water pick, okay? A water pick for my teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And so anyway, so this is all fine. And I just ordered that, and it came quick, but I had a notice that was saying tracking package was going to say that it was going to get here today. Okay? So I go on to my email to see if the tracking date had changed in any way or not. And there, lo and behold, is there not a frickin' email from Air Miles saying, as a result of this, and this, we've decided to do away with the expiration date of points.
Yeah.
And there are a shit pile of people that either booked trips that they didn't need or want to take, bought gifts off their site for things that they didn't and wouldn't have chosen to, and now all of a sudden, they're no longer going to have the expiry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that email tonight.
Yeah, that's so. I
but
went
you
on
already
to
ordered it.
I went on to their.
But she had already ordered it before they expired it.
Yeah.
I went on to their Facebook. Said you guys are a bunch of freaking assholes, basically. And cause a few people, there's some guy that put on there, and I went, yeah, me too. And I go, you guys are a piece of crap, or whatever it was I said, I'm like, blah, 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 and I went and picked crap that I wouldn't have never picked, and then the day it's set to arrive, you know what I mean? Like, now you're going to send a message that says, we changed our mind, assholes. So anyway, I used this thing, and I'm kind of not impressed with it. Like, I like the idea that I can, but the thing is that there's 3 tiers to this. And the bottom can come out of each one so that you can have one really tall, you know what I mean, steamer thing, or you can have 3.
Okay.
3.
That is kind of cool.
Like,
so you could have veggies in one and
right.
Sure.
in the other.
Or you could just have one tall thing, you know what I mean, that you might want to have. But point is that it means that when you grab the thing or whatever, like the bottom pops out easily, and it'll piss me off, you know what I mean? And I can see that breaking. I can see that breaking easily because they're just little plastic clips that hold it in, and it doesn't fit in well. But nonetheless, so I got that, and there were, my old my old rice cooker's still working, but you know what I mean, like so I used it today and cooked some potatoes and some eggs just to test it out, some hard-boiled eggs, because I love using the rice cooker for hard-boiled eggs. Comes out perfect,
Oh, really?
And there's no guesswork. You set the freaking timer, and it's good to go. So the thing is that now with this one though, I have to make smaller portions of rice because the little dish that sets in for it. And of course, I thought, well, I can use my other rice, the rice cooking bowl or whatever, from my other steamer, and it's just with the handles that come up on it, it's just a little bit too tall for the lid to go on snug. I go, this and that, just figure. So I could cut those off because it's just plastic, right? Or just not use it. But I'm in queue for my game, so if I leave suddenly, I gotta go. Okay, thanks, Yvette. Thank you. And so anyway, that's my story.
Interesting.
Okay. I got a story.
Okay.
You remember how much pissing and moaning and whining and complaining I did over that Stan Clark construction worker from hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. My landlady comes over yesterday, and she brings me just a sheet of paper that I have to call. The city, they got to come and do their inspection, blah, 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 whatever. And then she hands me the second sheet. She said, I got this bill from Stan Clark. And she said, you didn't get any cupboards and sinks installed, did you? And I said, no. She said, I didn't think so, but I thought I should come over and just double check with you because I didn't think we had him do any cupboards while he was here. So she whips out this invoice that he sent her, and it has brand new cupboards, and the sink install and the backsplash and two other things. Oh, the installation of an outside door, a new window install. And then at the bottom,
oh my God!
At the bottom, there was other shit that I don't remember. And then you flip it over, and then he did include the fascia for the roof that the grapevines had pushed out, so that did need to be replaced. So that was on the first page. So the first page wasn't oops, that isn't your page. It did include some of the things that he did do while he was here. You flip over to the second page, and then it's the flooring and da 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 da. And at the very bottom is the $5,600 invoice he sent her for the 2 floors. That was a 3x3 piece of wood that had to be pulled up, resit the toilet, and put in new flooring. All the other estimates that I got, if you remember me pissing and moaning, were all under $2,000. And I couldn't figure out why they didn't want to go with them because they were cheap. They're here, they're going to do it, they're boom, boom, boom. And she explained to me she already paid it. I said, wait a minute, you already paid the goddamn bill without reading it? She said, I know. So Merle is going to call him later. I said, he's a shyster. He is a shyster.
Yeah.
He said, well, I'm hoping it was just an error on his part because he has the wrong address as well. I said, no, because part of this is my bill. Part of this is what he actually did. And the shitter part of it is he didn't do a line-by-line itemization. He just wrote all this shit down on 2 pages and then put the final bill on the bottom of the second page. So there's no way to call him up and say, boom, the only thing you did is the floors, which you say on this piece of paper is, let's say $1,200, or the fascia for the roof that on this piece of paper should be, $220. There isn't a line-by-line itemization, so he can just say, oh, well, I'll take that off, and I think I was only going to bill you $800 for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Jeez.
So now I don't even know who I'm pissed off more about. I'm pissed off at them because I warned them. I warned them that he was a shyster and a prick. So, and there's a part of me that says, you know what, buyer beware, I told you he was a prick. And then the other part of me is just still mad at him because they're elderly. She's 85 and he's 86. And I'm like, are you just taking advantage of the elderly right now? You're a prick. You're just a dick.
Wow.
Well, and I don't think he's going to refund any of their money. I really don't.
Well, I would take him to court, and you can stand up for it too.
Right. I can easily. I would go to court on behalf of them right now. I'm so mad at him. I would take him to court. But because they're just not, I honestly can't picture them. They'll just hem and haw and then just shuffle it underneath the rug. They're just not that type of personality. They would rather eat it than have to, it's their age.
Yeah, but you know what? Get him before he gets somebody else. You know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying. He does need to be taken to the goddamn cleaners. And I looked to see if he had a Facebook page because I was going to write the nastiest review. When you mentioned that, the review, it reminded me that I was looking to see, because most contractors, they do have a Facebook page now because that's pretty basic, free advertising. You can just put anything on Facebook now and promote your own business. But he's not online, and he doesn't have a Facebook page, so I can't put in a review anywhere. Correct.
Yeah, but you could complain to Better Business Bureau and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that is a good idea because he would have to have a business license in order to be a contractor. He would.
And who's that chick? What's her name's list? It's that chick. Is this guy on her list? What's that chick? She has the thing called her, and it's by her first.
I know who you're talking about. No, I don't know if he's on that list or not.
Yeah.
I thought I had to have like a subscription or whatever to go on that list, so I never went on it.
You did once upon a time have to pay, but I think Angie's list.
There you go. Yeah, Angie's list.
And I think that's she made her $1 billion or something, so now you can go on it for free. But if he's on there too, right?
that would be one way to go do the recourse. But I'm just like, oh, that is so not like her.
Well,
that's not like her.
He did shitty work in the first place, number one. Caused more problems than he solved, number two. He should owe them money, never fucking mind the other way around.
I know. I did bring that up after, because she had to call 2 separate plumbers. I told you that already. The first one, they were going to snake the toilet, and then they just ended up re-putting it down after they found the rag. And then the second plumber actually had to snake the other side of the house to figure out why it was still draining into the tub. So there was 2 separate contractors that came out, and after he left, that they had to pay in full. And the first one was like, God, $180? I don't know what the second one was, because they just, paid them directly. But yeah, that he should have. I hope for their sake they kept that receipt and said, gee, you know what? Cost me money, mofo. I didn't think of that when she was here to say, you know what? He should have paid that in full. And I know you already wrote him a check, but he should have subtracted that because you made more of a mess.
Yeah, for sure. He absolutely did.
Well, you know what? This thing with Air Miles, I think they were threatened with lawsuits.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, now, like, they're damned if they did and damned if they didn't by then.
Yeah.
Now they got a bunch of people mad that when
everybody's mad.
They should have to recredit everybody their miles now and tough shit. Like, like if I could, I would have stopped it, but it's too late, and now I would have to incur fees to send it back, and I'm not going to go through all that hassle, right? But
right.
So I wrote on their Facebook, part of what I wrote was, or was this just a ploy in the first place for you guys to get people to spend all their points? You know?
Yeah.
And
Right.
I feel a little bit suckered in by this, really, you know?
Yeah, I'm sure a few people do. You know, when I went to my dad's funeral, I went on the air miles. Anita gave me air miles of her air miles, you know, to go back east that time.
Yeah,
She had a lot.
I used my air miles to take when I took that trip to England.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have enough air miles, you know. I don't have that many. I mean, I don't have any credit card or anything, you know. I think people who buy on MasterCard get a lot of air miles, right? Or something like that.
Yeah. Like I have an air miles. I used to be a gold member, you know what I mean? Which meant that you got a better deal on when you were cashing in.
Yeah.
You would spend, it would cost you less points or something. Everything went on my American Express, cause I would get a few points on everything over $20 or something, but, so you could kind of get a double air miles or something if you go to an air miles store plus use your, American Express card for it. But like it's been ever since I stopped working, because you have to spend quite a bit, and I just wasn't spending anymore, you know what I mean? And so,
yeah, that's right. I have not been a consumer for so long now. Like, I think I haven't had credit cards for maybe, I don't know, somewhere between 7 and 10 years. You know? And, it's funny, you just get used to it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I still have my credit cards, I just don't use them really. Like it's been years since I had a balance on my MasterCard. I don't know why they even keep sending me one because they're not making any money off me. And not even I'm not even charging anything on it. I kept them because, in case like the worst happened and like I could I was in the back of my mind I'm all like, well, I could get, maybe 10,000 here and 10,000 there. I could get 20,000 and get out of Dodge. You know what I mean?
Right.
And,
yeah. That's right.
When the floor falls out on me, and so, but yeah, and I pay I don't charge, I don't use credit cards as credit. I use credit cards for my convenience.
Yeah.
And, it's been years and years and years, probably well over 2 decades since I ever paid any interest on a credit card because, I pay off the balance, and, so I'm not using it to buy stuff I can't afford. Like people use credit cards that way and it baffles my mind, and, me, I go without if I can't, afford it, I go without it. No.
But like when people are desperate, like the majority are doing what you're doing. Like I was really desperate. I was having trouble. I've been having financial trouble for a few years, and I got cash advances to pay my rent a couple of times off my credit card, which is ridiculous because they charge you more interest if you take out a big cash advance,
Yeah.
And I was just, just not having enough money coming in for so long is how I got into this financial situation, and so it wasn't that I was spending money, wildly. I did that when I was younger, but then I filed a consumer proposal, right? So I pay something every month to cover, I end up paying a percentage of what the debt I had was. It's like an alternative to bankruptcy, right? So I looked today, and I think I've got about a year and a half left now of that. I mean, it's a good option if you're in that kind of position, but I feel like it drags me down too. Like I wish if I had more money coming in, I could pay it off sooner,
Yeah. Well, that's that's the source of my stress is I do not want to go back in debt. I have no way to pay it. I have no job, no income. No job and no income. There's only one slippery slope there. You know what I mean? And, so that's my big fear. Like, it's one thing to take on debt if you have income,
Yeah.
but, with no income, I just can't, I can't.
No, you can't. I get it, and I mean, the thing is, Chris, you're around 50, right? 50 years old.
Yeah.
So you have a good chance still to get a job, I mean, I know when I got the last job that I had, it took me a couple of years to get it, but that I was in my 50s then, and now, I mean, I've been looking for a job since I was like 6 or something, and now 55, 56, and now I'm almost 62. I mean, I've got jobs, little jobs, right? But not enough, I got another interview on Monday just for another music school. I might be able to pick up some more students there.
That's good.
But you still have a chance, Chris. Like, it might take a little while, but you still have a chance to get a job. I'm like 3 years from old age security.
Yeah. But there's the difference. Like, you're closer to that than me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I don't know how good that's going to be, isn't it? Doesn't it kind of suck?
Like, I'm 15 years away from it. So if I don't get a job, like, I'm going to be,
Booked.
Yeah, it's not going to even be pretty. You know what I mean?
But I don't think it's very much money they give you, It won't be much
more
money
than
for
than
me.
you get if you have zero coming in.
Yeah. I don't think it's not enough to live on, right?
Well, for me it would, you know what I mean? Because zero coming in is zero.
Yeah.
So if I got 600 a month, I'd be rich.
Right. I know what you mean. Yeah.
And it might not be enough or whatever, but I mean it's better than zero. And so I have 15 more years of zero. Worst case.
You won't have 15 more years of zero. You're going to find something. I feel that you will. Like, I really feel like if I could even work for the next 3 years, and have a reasonable income coming in, I could do amazing things with it after what I've been living on type of thing, Right? Like, you're living on next to nothing. And, even a reasonable income would be, even when I was at that shop, I was only getting minimum wage, but, at least, it was something and it was steady. And, I felt, like I could be a little more extravagant, like, not really, but just like if there was something I wanted to buy, groceries, that like before I would have said no, let's just pass on that. Like I bought a couple of things, because I'm like, okay, so even if it isn't great money, if it's steady money, I think that's what's the big thing, steady.
Yeah. Steady there.
Yeah.
No, at least you can budget with that, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, it ain't this getting old shit sucks, and
yeah. It's
now
not
I regret
funny.
that. Now I regret not like marrying for money or something.
Oh, shit. I know. Like, really, those of us who did stay single our whole life seem to be more challenged with this, you know?
Yeah, well, there's the other side of it, though, is the women that stay married for a lot, and then the buddy that leaves, and they haven't had a job, and now they're 50-something, and they, so, well, I wouldn't wish away, because while there's all of that, there's, sometimes you get with the wrong partner, and they spend you into debt.
Yeah, that's
one.
true.
Number two is that there's a whole bunch of headaches that you and I didn't have to have, that other
That's
people
true
have
too.
had.
I didn't have to pick up dirty underwear with skid marks on them all over the place, right? Or whatever, you know what I mean? Sorry. But, the other thing, though, Chris, is some of the women I know that were married, came out of it with some collateral, and not collateral, but what do you call it?
Well, like alimony.
No, like with assets, yeah, because like my friend, she is 2 years older than me. She was married for 35 years. She had 3 kids. She didn't know anything was wrong. And then he just walked out on her one day after 35 years for somebody else. And the worst part was she didn't know anything was wrong. And so, like, I'm not sure how that happens, right? But, like, don't ask me. I'm not the friggin' keeper of the long-term relationship here or anything, but she was so devastated, it took her a few years to bounce back, but he was paying her like an allowance every month. And even when, the kids were, even though they were grown up, he was still, I'm sure it was like guilt money, in a way, right? And then she had a townhouse and, she had like a place to live that was,
I mean, we do have divorce laws and alimony laws and everything like that here too. So
yeah.
That's why. It wasn't guilt money at all. It was probably required by law. You know what I mean? An asshole like that isn't going to have guilt. How do you walk out on a 35-year, leaving the woman just devastated like that if you have guilt, There's no such thing as that. And so guy wouldn't have given a penny unless he really had to.
But the other thing too was, well, she was married and she had the kids and was raising them, but she also got her art degree while she was married. So like well, I guess it's a trade-off, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, and that's why we can't wish ourselves into somebody else's shoes and that, and at the end of the day, we don't know. Like that's what I've tried to say to a couple of people. One in particular person is don't assume that you know anything about somebody's situation.
No.
And then be jealous of it, or decide that they're rich or anything else. Do you know how many people are living so far in debt, but they're keeping the outward appearance of wealth, and they're not rich at all? They can't even afford coffee. You know what I mean? And they're house poor or car poor or debt poor, and we can't make these assumptions about what somebody has or doesn't have, and we can't make assumptions about what somebody's really going through in their private life, based on outward appearances, and things like that. And so, walking a mile in their shoes or something like that.
Well, like with her, though, we've talked about it, and we have compared notes, and she has,
I don't what you're doing,
yeah.
It's at all. The reason I said that is because it's like, there are these trade-offs, and that's why we can't really wish ourselves into someone else's situation. Because we got to take it all. You got to take it all. You know what I mean? So it's like if I were going to write a screenplay or something, like write a movie or a story about this, it would be, you know, kind of like somebody wishing that they could have, and then they go but they did, and now they're in their life, but they really didn't know that they were dealing with, you know, cancer this or that kind of health problem that, or that they were dealing with bitchy parents or really ill parents or whatever other little things that they're dealing with, right, that you don't know about. And so that it's not worth it at the end of the day that they have a decent job. You know what I mean? And because after everything else they're doing, there is no way for them to be enjoying that. And so, you know, careful what you wish for, I guess, in a way, hey? I wouldn't want to be in anyone else's life.
No, me neither. Me neither. But I'm just saying, like, it from the point of view where I'm questioning my choices or questioning, you know, what I put value on most of my life was not, you know, looking for a long-term relationship. And I never really had the desire to be the fluffy white bride floating down the aisle. I never had that dream, whereas that was a dream for a lot of people. You know, a lot of people had that dream. That wasn't one of my dreams, you know. But I'm failing at my own dreams right now. So that's why I'm not too pleased, right, with myself and the situation, right? You know, and I mean, as you get older, you're just like, what the hell? It's like all of a sudden, you know, you weren't afraid when you were younger, and then you get more afraid when you get older, you know? And why is that? But what I'm noticing is that everything is just friggin' dwindling down to a drip around here, you know? There's no other way to describe it. Like, even friends, like, I find I feel myself, you know, distanced from the people I know, right? Like it just doesn't resonate anymore, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, is that it, guys, or what do we got?
That's all I got on my.
That's all I got. Well, you got Deb. You got more, Deb. You got more.
Well, no, I know, you know, I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to get out of here, so I can see it happening, is what I'm saying. I can see it dwindling down. It doesn't resonate anymore with me, you know?
Yeah. Good. Well, I hope you know, you should have been out of there a fucking 2 years ago, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every day is a day later, and so hopefully something will happen.
Yeah.
Out of Dodge.
Yeah.
And
all right. Good night, guys.
Good night.
All right, so I'm going to get the heck out of here then.
Yeah.
We're back. Probably not. Maybe tomorrow, but I doubt it. Unless I just open up to do music in a chat room, you know what I mean? And it'll only be half here. And but otherwise, Sunday, Dr. Ida Green is here, and I guess we'll probably have a short show there too, because I don't usually see a lot of callers when she's on. So we'll probably do a shorter show on that day as well. So let me get my quit page up here. And thanks you guys for coming. Thanks everybody that called in. Appreciate that very much. And have a great rest of the night. I'm going to go cook some rice. And so, 3, 2, 1. See you guys. Thanks.